Fox Sports.
We are Black Hawk. We are Wisconsin.
A beautiful night for baseball here at Miller Park. We shall not forget 9/11. Remember today, 11 years ago, the terrorist attack that brought down the Twin Towers in New York City, wreaked havoc in Pennsylvania and Washington, D.C. as well. Brewer fans remembering here at Miller Park, and a flyover here over Miller Park as well moments ago, just after the national anthem. And we welcome you inside for baseball here tonight. Now I'm Craig Kishon alongside Davey Nelson. It's the Brewers and Braves Game 2 here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. And the Brewers doing a lot of their damage getting back into the pennant race by simply winning games here at Miller Park.
And this is where they are so comfortable. Last year we talked about it. They won 57 games, which was a franchise record. They're continuing that pace right now, and they're very comfortable here. And it's like home cooking, baby.
15 of 17. That's what the Brewers have won here at Miller Park over that stretch of time. And they have done everything from pitching to defense and, of course, clubbing the baseball as well. And a win tonight puts Milwaukee back to 500. They are 70 and 71 entering play here tonight. They have not been at 500 since they were 9-9 back on April 24th. Well, last night the Brewers came a-knocking and finally busted the Braves' door down in the 7th inning. Dean Rock tell us how they're going to get it done again in Game 2 tonight.
Wisconsin is presented by Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. By Miller Lite, because when friends come together, it's not just a good time, it's Miller time. By Toyota. When you choose Toyota, you get a lot for less. Toyota. And by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T. Rethink possible. Roof is open on a gorgeous night for baseball. Nori Aoki, he has been hot. Check out his numbers over the last 2.5 weeks. A .339 hitter. Had a big double last night to drive in a pair. The Brewers winning the opener last night against the Atlanta Braves. And now we're set for game 2. Hi, everybody. Brian Anderson along with Bill Schroeder. Great to have you with us tonight. September 11th, the National Day of Remembrance, and certainly a gift that we're able to watch this great game of baseball. And, Rock, this is a baseball team that is giving their fans a lot to smile about right now. The Brewers are playing very well, and they're not just doing it with the long ball.
Yeah, the small ball. And it's going to be important because Ryan Braun's banged up. Corey Hart's been out of the lineup. So you figure that the home runs aren't going to be able to come as they usually do. But the 7th inning in yesterday's ball game shows you that this team can score runs in a lot of different ways. Only 2 base hits, 4 walks, a couple of errors by the Atlanta Braves. Ron Redicky pulling the string on a couple of pinch hitters, a pinch runner. Everybody contributing and everybody getting the job done. And if this team hopes to continue to win games and get a little bit closer to that wild card race, they're going to have to do things like that. You can't always rely on the home run.
Brewers are 1 game under 500. They are 5 back in the wild card race. Marco Estrada tonight against one of the game's best in Tim Hudson. Brewers, Braves coming up. Shaking hands once again. The Brewers have been doing a lot of that after ball games recently. They've won 16 of their last 21. And now it's Marco Estrada next up to try to carry the Brewers forward as we play ball on September 11th. There is Fredi Gonzalez, skipper of the Atlanta Braves. They had won 5 in a row until last night. The Brewers snapped that winning streak. And Fredi Gonzalez has made a couple of changes in his batting order tonight. You got Michael Bourne leading off, Martin Prado, then Jason Hayward. In the middle of the order, Chipper Jones, Brian McCann moves up to 5th. Dan UGGLA in the 6th spot. And the change, Lyle Overbay. He'll play first base, the former Brewer. He's in there for Freddie Freeman. Andrelton Simmons bats 8th, and Tim Hudson is on the mound. And that's the Piggly Wiggly batting order for the Braves that will face Marco Estrada.
Yeah, lost his last time out against the Miami Marlins, snapping a personal 2-game winning streak for Marco. Came out of the bullpen a little bit rough, allowed 4 runs in the first 2 innings, and then faced the minimum in his final 3. He's 1-1 career against the Atlanta Braves.
And let's check the defense behind Marco Estrada tonight. Still no Corey Hart in the lineup. So you've got Braun Gomez and Aoki in the outfield. Ramirez, Segura, Weeks, and Ishikawa at first base. Ishikawa getting his second start. And Jonathan Lucroy will do the catching. The Menards Brewers defense. Picture perfect night for baseball once again. Not a cloud in the sky. It's getting dark a lot earlier these days, isn't it? 81 degrees our game time temperature. About 10 degrees warmer than it was last night. And we're ready to go as Michael Bourne steps in to lead off. Estrada's first pitch is upstairs, ball 1. And off we go tonight from Miller Park. 21 games left, including tonight for Milwaukee. The Brewers come in with a record of 70-71. And you don't strive to have a 500 season, but when you consider where the Brewers were just about 6 weeks ago, and they were 12 games under 500, it's looking pretty good right now, and they are a win away from accomplishing that first step.
And doing it in a lot of different ways. I mean, this team is playing as good now as they have all year, and for a nice long stretch.
2 balls and a strike. Michael Bourne fouls it back, and it goes to 2-2. 4-man umpiring crew in place. The crew chief is behind the plate tonight, Gary Cederstrom. Lance Barksdale, Jordan Baker, and Adrian Johnson on the bases. See all the players and the umpires with the American flags on the side of their helmets, their caps. Got the special bases in place tonight with the gel insert. And this National Day of Remembrance here on September 11th. And we shall not forget.
Had a flyover tonight. That was awesome. I love those things.
Very cool. The Wisconsin Air National Guard providing the flyover, and a ton of servicemen and women here enjoying this ball game tonight. What a great shot. Sailor and Son.
You've seen military from all the different branches here at the ballpark. A bunch of them out in the parking lot tonight.
Bourne out to Ishikawa for the first out. Long battle there for Marco Estrada to get out number 1. A 7-pitch at bat against Michael Bourne. That's how his night starts. What have you seen from Marco Estrada lately, Rock?
Well, he does have to avoid the big inning, and when Marco is not pitching well, he's got to minimize that big inning. But his last 4 starts have been pretty good. I mean, pounding the strike zone, 32 punch outs, an opponent batting average at under 160, and look at the earned run average, under 2, and just needs a little bit more run support. He lost his last start, but had a personal 2-game winning streak before that.
Well, Estrada lost against the Marlins. He gave up 4 runs in 5 innings, 7 hits across those 5 innings. Took his first loss since the 5th of August. Facing Martin Prado. It was interesting that Estrada said after his last start that was a noon start, 12:30 start that day in Miami. He said he got out of whack. He got out of his rhythm, and then he felt like he had to rush. Liner right to Ishikawa for out number 2. Baseball players are creatures of habit, and Estrada was disappointed in himself that he did not perform better. He actually had a very rough start, and the fact that he went 5 innings probably carried over to the next game and allowed the Brewers to at least put themselves in a position with, you know, the bullpen in better shape than it would have been. It looked like he might be out in the first or second inning.
Yeah, he gave up 3 runs in the first inning, another in the second, but then his final 3 faced a minimum. So he was able to turn things around.
Estrada last pitched here in Milwaukee on the 1st of September, and that was a terrific outing. 7 strong innings against the Pirates. Only gave up 1 run. He struck out 10. Marco not necessarily a strikeout pitcher stuff wise, but he's put up some big strikeout games this season. As Jason Hayward fouls one back. It's 1-2 on the big Atlanta slugger.
And what he has to do is continue to throw the changeup and throw the curveball for strike. Didn't have much of a curveball early on in Miami. And when he doesn't have that pitch, they just sit all over that fastball.
Hayward with 25 homers, 70 driven in. He's been a good hitter this year. Hasn't had the up and down inconsistencies that he had in his first 2 years, but you can hardly blame him. He's only 22. Was in the major leagues at the age of 20. Now in his third full season.
Showed some pretty good opposite field power in yesterday's game. Hit the ball to left field. Something that he did not do a year ago. So he's coming around as a hitter, not just a power hitter.
Yesterday Hayward was 2 for 4. And a little cue shot foul, and it splinters the bat. It's always a good sign for a pitcher when you in the first inning can have a hitter like Hayward fooled like that.
Well, he gave him the off-speed pitch, but Hayward, you got to figure he's looking fastball right there. Marco gave him the off-speed pitch, but Hayward's still able to stay alive.
So part of some of the new speed-up rules in baseball right there. The bat boy always has the second bat available, and instead of the player going back to the on-deck circle, gets the bat delivered to him as Hayward pops it up. And Ishikawa salts it away. Nice start. Marco Estrada 3 up and 3 down. Now the Brewers coming up against Tim Hudson. Braves. First time the Brewers have seen the Braves since early in the schedule, back in early April, as Ron Renicky saw his Brewers win a beauty last night. There was a lot going on in last night's game, a lot of strategy involved. Nice win for Milwaukee. Piggly Wiggly batting order today. Aoki, Weeks, and Braun, Ramirez, Lucroy, and Ishikawa in the middle, with Gomez, Segura getting the start at shortstop, and Marco Estrada rounding it out. And that's the lineup that will face Tim Hudson. He was on the disabled list when the Brewers were in Atlanta in April. He didn't get his season started until late April, and he's been one of the game's best once again, Ron.
Yeah, he's on a roll. He's never had a losing season as a big leaguer. Has won 8 of 9 decisions, and the Atlanta Braves are 10-2 in his last 12 starts. He's only allowed 10 home runs this year, the 6th fewest in all of baseball.
Could be a free agent at season's end. The Braves do have an option to pick up an extra year of his contract, and you figure he would love to stay in Atlanta. He signed 2 multi-year contracts with the Atlanta Braves, and coming up to the end of his second one. He is 37 years of age, out of Phoenix City, Alabama. Tim Hudson. Little tapper right back to him, and out number 1 as Aoki is retired. Here are the Braves defensively tonight. Prado, Bourne, and Hayward. Same outfield we saw last night. Simmons and UGGLA up the middle with Chipper Jones and Lyle Overbay on the corners. Overbay getting his first start as an Atlanta Brave. Ryan McCann does the catching. Tim Hudson, an excellent fielding pitcher. Chipper Jones back in the starting lineup. Wondering if he'll start again tomorrow. They take it day by day with Chipper Jones. And tomorrow will be his final appearance at Miller Park, barring a miraculous postseason combination. Ricky Weeks takes strike one from Hudson. Weeks in the 2-hole tonight once again. Yesterday, Renicky fiddled with his lineup a little bit in the absence of Corey Hart, who is still out with a foot injury. And Weeks more in an RBI position last night. He's back up in his customary 2-hole, and he drives that one into deep center field. That ball's gone. Ricky Weeks, a frozen rope out of here. He's never hit Hudson all that well, but you wouldn't know it by that swing. Number 18 of the season for Ricky Weeks. And the Brewers have a 1-0 lead.
That was a frozen rope out there to center field. Ricky Weeks' career against Hudson, 2 for 21. And he gets a hold of one here in the center field and knocks it out. The only question was it going to be high enough. And that's the first home run hit by a Brewer on the roster against Tim Hudson. That's how good this guy's been.
Hudson doesn't give up many home runs, period. And certainly Ricky Weeks has had his struggles, but that's why you love baseball, right? You never know what you're going to see, and Ricky Weeks finds a little lightning in a bottle here to get us started.
Yeah, one thing you got to do against Hudson, you better be up there ready to swing, but he's going to try and get ahead of you. He works quickly, and he's going to throw a lot of strikes. So don't be looking for walks.
Ryan Braun takes a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Got that one up a little bit. Of course, with a guy like Hudson who throws that sinker, get him early before he settles in, and Weeks able to get the Brewers on the board.
Well, last night it was a lot of small ball. We talked about that in our open tonight. The Brewers using sac bunts, sac flies, stolen bases, pinch runners, pinch hitters. It was a masterful game last night. I'm sure it was fun to manage and coach as it was to play. And the Brewers scored all of their runs in 1 inning last night, able to beat the Braves 4-1 as Braun fouls it away.
And it took them a while, and it took some help from the Atlanta Braves. A couple of errors, 4 walks in that 7th inning. Only 2 hits. But the 2 hits, one of them was that Okie double with the bases loaded. And the bullpen coming up big again.
Boy, look at that dugout, boy. They are on the top seat, fully engaged, and they have been for a while. As Braun strikes out, the second out of the inning for a strikeout for Hudson. That's what you like to see. The Brewers, it's still a long shot, but they know getting to 500 is the first step. And everybody's excited about the way this team is playing right now. It's fun to win, and the Brewers are having fun, and I'd give a lot of credit to them. They could have shut it down, but they did not. And now they're in a position to do something special. Ramirez breaks his bat, little flare, and Hayward will run it down for the out. So Hudson gets through the first, but not before Ricky Weeks unloads in pursuit of 20. He belted his 18th.
It's been an important year of transition. His first with the Brewers, where he has been primarily in the starting rotation. Marco told me because he's pitched more innings this season, and he's learned to relax more, knowing that he doesn't have to make a perfect pitch every time because he's going to have to make a lot of pitches over the course of the game. Pitching coach Rick Franich told me Marco has the stuff to pitch in the big leagues. Needs to show his stuff on a more consistent basis, especially against a future Hall of Famer like Chipper Jones, guys.
All right, thank you, Mark, indeed. And a standing ovation for Chipper Jones in his first at-bat here tonight. Jones tips his cap once again, or his helmet in this case, and he's getting used to that everywhere he goes. In his final year in the major leagues, which was announced during spring training, he has had this Chipper Jones swan song in all of these ballparks, including Citi Field in New York, where the Braves just arrived from. Had a hit last night. Jones was 1 for 4. He had a single last night.
Man, you really can't say enough about what Chipper Jones has meant to not only Atlanta Braves, but Major League Baseball. Been a very good ambassador. I mean, his numbers, not too many, are better as far as switch hitters go. Over 1,000 RBIs, a career 300 hitter.
There's ball 4. Jones draws the walk on 4 straight. And a leadoff walk issued by Estrada. Very good control pitcher, Marco Estrada. Throughout his career, Mark was talking about Estrada getting his first chance to be a regular starter in the rotation. But it's been the big inning that has been his nemesis. And he's done a good job at that this year and has taken advantage of his opportunity. He really started that. I think it was a wake-up call for him prior to last season. He was taken off the Brewers roster, signed just a minor league deal, and when Zach Greinke broke his rib spring training of 2011, it was Estrada who ended up with the job, and he did a great job. Part of that division championship team last year, and that valuable swing man that went between the rotation into the long relief role, middle relief role, back into the rotation at times, and just a valuable asset for Ron Renicky and Rick Kranitz.
He was certainly on the radar this year coming into spring training because of what he did last year. You're right. I mean, bullpen starter, did a nice job, kept the Brewers in games.
Ryan McCann fouls this one back, and he's down 0-2. McCann elevated into the batting order tonight. No Freddie Freeman in there, just a day off for Freeman. Freeman has been playing a lot. He has started 79 of the last 80 games for Atlanta, and Freddie Gonzalez said tonight's the night that the first baseman needs a day off. So McCann bumped up in the lineup, and a foul tip right into the mid of Lucroy. A strikeout for Estrada, his first.
Yeah, he's got the breaking ball going so far tonight. Able to get McCann a very defensive swing. He got him out in front. And you see it, change up and off speed, down and away. That's where you want it. And a very defensive swing gets a pretty good hitter.
So 1 gone. Chipper Jones at first, and here's Dan Uggla. Uggla was taken out of the starting lineup early last week, making his 5th consecutive start. So just as Freddie Gonzalez told Dan Uggla that his playing time was not going to be on a regular basis, Uggla took exception, the all-star second baseman. And he's been swinging the bat ever since, and Freddie Gonzalez continues to start him at second base. And the Braves know they need him if they're going to continue here. As Uggla muscles one into left. Braun is there. 2 outs.
Got it down on the end of the bat. Good pitch by Marco once again. Come out to Miller Park as the Brewers host the New York Mets this coming Friday through Sunday. Call 414-902-4000 or visit brewers.com for tickets.
Day off Thursday, and then the Mets in Friday. A 3-game series against New York.
And first day off for the Brewers in 3 weeks.
20 in a row, 20 games in 20 days. And they played their best baseball of the season during this stretch.
Maybe they shouldn't get a day off.
Let's keep going, man. Lyle Overbay in the starting lineup. His first start as a Brave. starting for Freddie Freeman at first base. Overbay, the former Brewer, still holds the doubles record that Aramis Ramirez is chasing right now. At 53 doubles did Lyle Overbay in the 04 season.
And still a good hitter. He got a pinch hit base hit in yesterday's game. Very good opposite field hitter. You can see 53 doubles in 2004.
Yeah, Ramos Ramirez has a chance at that. He's going to have to go a little bit. Is 9 short of that mark. Overbay took a flyer this year. He signed a minor league deal with the Braves. He was released in early August by the Diamondbacks. So he signed with the Braves, but there was no big league job for him. So he signed a minor league deal, and he went and played in the minor leagues with the hopes that he would be a September call-up, which he was. And because he was in the organization before September 1st, it makes him postseason eligible. And as the Braves try to determine what their bench will look like if they make it into the postseason, Overbay has as good a shot as any right now.
And he's a guy that would be very productive off the bench. I mean, a veteran guy that knows how to hit. Problem is the Braves have a ton of left-handed hitters.
1 ball, 2 strikes, and a swing and a miss. Estrada ties him up with a fastball. 2 strikeouts in the second, 2 scoreless for Marco. Is presented by Piggly Wiggly, the official supermarket of Fox Sports Wisconsin. By Ho Chunk Gaming Wisconsin, your ticket to more. And by Marshfield Clinic. Don't just live, shine. Tuesday night in Milwaukee. Great to see all of our servicemen and women here tonight. And we certainly salute you and thank you for all that you do for us on this National Day of Remembrance.
Guys out there in the ACUs, the combat fatigues. That's where I got my tie, you know.
That's a good looking tie.
Same material.
And say hello to Rock's son Billy. Probably checking us out tonight.
He is. Yes, he is.
Out in Kansas. Jonathan Lucroy leads off for Milwaukee. 1-0 Brewers on a Rookie Weeks home run against Tim Hudson. I know you spoke to some of our servicemen and women before the ball game.
Yeah, Brewers put together a tailgate and got tickets for all the branches of the military. There's about 150 out there, and it's a good time. Guys enjoyed it. I was able to tell them all how much we all appreciate what they've done and what they continue to do. And you know, veterans of the military of all the branches, past, present. owe them a lot. They talk about baseball players being heroes. They're the real heroes. I talked to that gentleman right there.
You didn't share any trade secrets, did you, during your speech?
I mean, things that go on up here in the booth?
Yeah, you're broadcasting trade secrets because, you know.
They tried to get them out of me. They asked me what kind of guy you are.
Well, that's kind of where I was heading with this.
A terrific partner, I say.
Good boy. Travis Ishikawa takes ball 2. 2-0 on Ishikawa. Making his second consecutive start. He has had very little playing time lately as Corey Hart has settled into the first base job. Slick fielding defender Ishikawa, and he's actually swung the bat well during this stretch of games. This winning streak for the Brewers. He's done a nice job coming off the bench for Ron Renicky, and is typically his main man off the bench. He's had some big hits. Bouncing ball out to second. UGGLA. And a low throw dug out by Overbay for the second out of the inning.
You're going to see a lot of that tonight. Ground balls that Tim Hudson throws with a good sinker. Very rarely are you able to elevate one. That was such a surprise. It was a surprise when Ricky was able to hit one out. Not many.
Hey, don't forget, get all your high school football action with Fox Sports Prep Zone. And you can just log on to foxsportswisconsin.com. Go to foxsportswisconsin.com. You can check the Prep Zone tab. Get all the information. There's a list of games that we'll have for you Friday. Carlos Gomez. He's got the old school look on tonight. The pad legs up to the knees. Was hitless yesterday. 0 for 3. Did have an RBI. Had a sacrifice fly. And a ball and a strike on Gomez.
Man, you're not going to see too many pitches straight coming out of the hand of Tim Hudson. Sinkers, cutters. He's got a great changeup. He'll throw a split. There's a four-seamer. Doesn't throw hard, but boy, can he throw strikes. Keeps the ball down.
He's had a very impressive career, Tim Hudson. Could not get a nibble in the pro game nor the college game when he was coming out of high school in Alabama. No scholarships offered. So he went to a community college. You know, they told him it was the same with Pedro Martinez. You're too small. You're a right-handed pitcher. Too small of a frame to hold up under professional standards. But he went to a junior college and then ended up at Auburn, and he was one of the best players in the country as a collegiate. Strikes out Gomez. A 1-2-3 inning for Hudson. Picks up his second K.
Tonight here in Miller Park in honor of military, police, and firefighters in Wisconsin, all across the U.S., and the brave men and women who responded to the Twin Towers attack 11 years ago. There's St. Francis firefighter Jeff Jankowski threw out the first pitch. There were fire trucks outside the stadium, and F-16 flyover during the national anthem from the 115th Fighter Wing in Madison. A special night, paying tribute to some very special folks, guys.
Absolutely. What a great night to be a child and come to the ballpark and get to hang out on the fire truck. Right? It was kind of a circled around the Bob Uecker statue. I thought for a minute they were already removing the statue. Somebody had set it ablaze. As Andrelton Simmons slaps one back up the middle for a base hit, and the rookie shortstop is aboard to start this third inning for Atlanta.
I forget the kids. I like fire trucks.
Yeah. They don't really like when, grown men start hanging around fire trucks, though, start climbing up.
They're cool, though.
Unraveling the hoses.
Yeah, tough folks that do all that. Police, firemen.
Yeah, we tip our hat to all of the first responders watching the ball game tonight. All the firehouses and police stations and all the emergency rooms. Hopefully it's a quiet night. You can enjoy a little Brewers baseball tonight. That's what we hope for every night. Hudson takes a strike. The Braves pitcher, always a good hitter, handles the bat extremely well. I was talking about his college days at Auburn, his 2 seasons at Auburn when he was one of the nation's best pitchers, but he was also an outfielder. And he was all SEC as a position player and a pitcher. And he hit nearly 400 his senior year in college.
Well, he's hitting .234 this year. He's 11 for 47. He's dropped down 6 sacrifice bunts. And he's a career 172 hitter. Not too bad.
He might have put together one of the greatest seasons in college baseball, certainly at Auburn. But he was 15-2 as a pitcher. Hit .396 with 18 homers and 95 RBIs as a hitter. Drops a bunt down. Estrada will make the play for the out. Hudson a sacrifice bunt, advancing the speedy Simmons.
Yeah, that's a pretty good year in college. And he's been able to parlay that into a pretty good, not pretty good, very good big league career. Hudson almost 100 games over 500, 195 and 102 for his career. That's incredible.
Well, so important to get a first inning run off of him. Ricky Weeks drove one over the center field fence to give the Brewers the lead tonight. Michael Bourne with one away. Simmons at second. Bourne bounced out in the first inning. Bourne will be a free agent at season's end. Atlanta potentially has a ton of cash coming off the books after this season. They do have some options on players like McCann and Tim Hudson. Chipper Jones is retiring. Most of their big contracts are coming to an end. Bourne is one of them. And you would suspect that he would be one of the top free agent outfielders available. Everybody's looking for a center fielder who can run.
And a leadoff hitter. Got an on-base percentage over 350. Considered to be pretty good these days.
Pickoff play at second. Close play. Simmons is back. Brewers had a successful pickoff at second base in the St. Louis series with Segura playing shortstop. That was on Sunday. And another one.
Yeah, Segura really does a nice job. He has a good understanding of how important it is to keep a runner close at second. You see him do that all the time. Very active behind the runner out there, and that'll keep him a little bit closer. Maybe he won't score on a base hit.
There's a strike. 1-2 on Michael Bourne. Bourne very fast, not stealing bases like he has in his career, however, but always a threat. The 1-2 and a swing and a foul tip. He just got a pit, or no, he didn't. Lucroy just dropped that ball and put the tag on him. Bourne didn't run. He could have. The base is open at first. But Estrada will take the strikeout, out number 2.
I don't think he realized that, you know, Lucroy had dropped the baseball. Now he sees it and doesn't bother running, as you mentioned. I think perhaps he was trying to sell a foul tip there. That's probably why he didn't run. The ball drops right off the shin guard of Lucroy and tags him out. Bourne having a tough time with the breaking pitch in this series. Marco throwing a couple of good ones to him in that at bat.
So 2 men are out. Simmons, who led off this inning with a single, is still at second base for Martin Prado. Prado lined out to first in the first inning. And a beauty breaking ball for a strike.
This guy's a tough out in this batting order. You don't hear a whole lot about Prado, but you talk about a tough out, a tough guy to strike out in situations where a base hit will beat you. This is one of the last guys you want to see at the plate. Does a nice job taking it into right field.
Tied for 5th in the major leagues in total hits. And a bouncer to Weeks. Marco Estrada with 3 scoreless in the books. Worked around a leadoff single in that 3rd inning.
And it is our time now to take the pulse of social media. Ron Renicky saying after last night's game that the Brewers defense was outstanding, and it was. He said they hadn't seen them pick up that many outs defensively as they did last night. So we want to hear from you, the fans. Which were the more impactful defensive plays from last night? Either Martin Maldonado's 2 pickoffs or the 2 outfield assists by Aoki and Carlos Gomez.
All right, I like it. Those were big plays, and I like that. Martin Maldonado has a Twitter handle as well. He and Gomez are on Twitter. And big plays last night. Maldonado certainly changed the game with his arm last night. Segura bounces one to third. Jones has got to hurry. The throw is not in time. Chipper had a little trouble in the exchange, and that's all that Segura would need to beat that out.
Yeah, Jones not really that quick off the mark. He took a little bit too much time, and because of that, felt as though he needed to hurry on the exchange and nearly bobbled it. It took him a while to get the handle right here. That's all it took for Segura to be able to beat it, the way that guy hustles down the line. And a good call over there at first base. Lance Barksdale giving the safe sign.
On a recommendation from Segura as he went across the base.
Learns that from Brawny.
Little subliminal gesturing there by Segura. So he's aboard. That is a leadoff bunt single, and that'll give Estrada a chance to get a bunt down. Yeah, Maldonado was terrific last night. Saw a great throw from Nori Aoki. And the real big play in the game was Gomez's throw, getting Martin Prado at third base.
It turned out like that, but you never know. I mean, if Maldonado doesn't pick those two guys off, and one steal and one pickoff, I mean, things might have been different in that Aoki throw. To get a base runner. And it's hard to tell. It's hard to determine which one was best. They're all great.
Now the Braves were certainly talking about the base running endeavors last night. 4 Braves were eliminated from the base paths. They had a caught stealing, a pickoff, 2 runners thrown out from the outfield. The one that Gomez threw out when he got Prado at third base, that ended the inning, and the inning ended with Dan UGGLA on deck, which was big. Had UGGLA batted in that inning, it would have been first and third, 2 outs, and UGGLA a home run threat.
As a tying run. Now, you never make the third out at third base. That's a no-no in baseball, especially when you're down by 3 runs.
Yeah, Martin Prado twice was thrown out at third base last night. 2 balls and a strike. See if Estrada can get a bunt down, and he won't need to now as Hudson picks off Segura.
Quick feet by Tim Hudson. How quickly he got that ball over to first base. It looked as though Segura was looking to bunt, or I should say to steal. Taking a step, and right there he knew he was in big trouble. Trying to reach for the outside part of that bag, but just couldn't do it.
Three balls and a strike on Estrada. Putout goes 1-3. Just as we're talking about the Braves getting eliminated, the Brewers return the favor tonight. And there's ball 4. Wow. Tim Hudson walks the pitcher, Marco Estrada. That's not something you see a whole lot of. Well, our Carsoup.com email the booth question last night. You said the Braves pitching staff could be too left-handed. Is having a 50-50 righty-lefty split the ideal? Matt in Milwaukee. Actually,
we were talking about the batters,
yeah,
the position players,
the hitters.
A lot of left-handed hitters in their lineup, and you face a team with a lot of left-handed pitchers. That could be an issue.
Little tapper. Hudson will go to first. And Aoki is retired.
I don't think you can have too many lefties in your bullpen.
You can't have enough lefties. But let's just say that was a typo, and he's talking about too many lefty hitters.
Right. Oh, yeah. I mean, you just talk about that. You play a team that has a number of left-handed pitchers that can neutralize some of your power. For instance, tonight, I mean, assuming, let's say that Freddie Freeman, who is normally in the lineup, that's 4 left-handed batters and a switch hitter. The switch hitter, Chipper Jones. That's a lot of guys hitting left-handed. And if you decide to rest them, then you weaken your starting lineup. If you don't want them to face a tough left-handed pitcher, say like a Cole Hamels.
With that being said, the Braves left-handed hitters, the regulars, have been able to hit lefties. That's why they are everyday players. But they have a lot of them. They have Freddie Freeman and McCann and Jason Hayward. I mean, these are 3 stalwarts in their offense. And if you get a tough left-hander in the bullpen and you can match up with them, that could present some challenges for Atlanta.
That's why managers don't like to stack their lefties all in a row in the lineup. You get in a position in the game in 7th inning or so, then you've got 3 or 4 left-handers coming up. You can bring in that left-hander, even if you only have one. Say it's Manny Parra, and leave him out there for 4 hitters. You try and stagger the lefties.
Ricky Weeks with 2 gone. Estrada at second base. And it's 2 balls and a strike. Bouncing ball. Big hop for Simmons. And the side is retired. So the Brewers come up empty despite a leadoff single. Chipper Jones in his final trip to Milwaukee. We'll bat second when we come back. See Ricky Weeks, his 18th home run of the year. That's how the game got started. A bottom of the first inning home run. The only score so far, Hudson and Marco Estrada. Hudson since that time is not giving up anything except the infield bunt single. Does have a walk in this game, but Hudson with 2 strikeouts. Marco Estrada has 3 punch outs. And Marco has given up just the 1 single. Last 2 innings, Estrada has had a leadoff base runner. He walked Chipper Jones. He gave up a single to Simmons, but he pitched around both of them, retiring the next 3 hitters. Now this is game 2 of this 3-game series. Brewers and Braves will wrap it up tomorrow, and that is a night game. Now, throughout the good part of the schedule, the last game of a series on a Wednesday would be a day game, so make sure that you note if you're coming out to Miller Park that we will not start until 7:10 p.m. on the air at 6:30, and that'll be Giovanni Gallardo tomorrow against Paul Mahalem, who has been outstanding as an Atlanta Brave. They picked him up from the Cubs. Ready to go here in the 4th. Jason Heyward leads off. He'll be followed by Chipper Jones and then Brian McCann. And Heyward sends one deep to right, but hooks it foul. The J. Hay Kid, they call him, Jason Heyward.
Big man, very strong. And he's really starting to learn how to hit. He's always had power, but now he's starting to learn how to hit.
See some changes in his batting stance. His
approach.
Yeah, he's holding those hands close.
Looking to go to left field.
He can fill up a batter's box, that's for sure. 6'5" is Jason Heyward. He's from the Atlanta area. Grew up a Braves fan. 1-2 pitch. Got him. Marco Estrada goes with a heat, challenges the big slugger, and a strikeout for Marco, number 4.
Doubled up on the fastball. The first one up in the zone, and the second one on the inside corner did the same thing to Lyle Overbay. It's not just the breaking pitches that have been effective so far tonight for Marco.
So Chipper Jones now with 1 away. Drew a 4-pitch walk in the 2nd inning. Jones in his 19th year in the big leagues. Hits that one high in the air to center field, playable for Gomez. And there is out number 2. Hayward and Jones retired in the 4th. AT&T trivia tonight. What position did Chipper Jones play when making his major league debut September 11th, 1993? It's an anniversary for Chipper Jones. Made his big league debut on this date in '93, and you might be surprised at the position he played.
Do you know it?
I do know it.
And how would you know that?
Well, TBS was like a national network when I was growing up. You saw all the games.
You actually watched that game?
Oh, I remember it like it was yesterday. And all the stack of paperwork that Brian Michelangelo gave me before the game. That helped refresh my memory.
Good. But you did know it. I was wondering when you're going to come clean. I knew it was going to be sooner or later.
Yeah, I don't know. Now that you're, giving away all of our booth secrets.
Do we have any? Open book up here.
It's not as easy as it looks, is it, Ron?
No.
In our 7th month of broadcasting here, starting with the webcast.
Mm-hmm. Time flies.
Yes, hard to believe. Oh, good to see the Brewers playing their best baseball right now. McCann takes a ball inside, just missed. 3-2 the count on Brian McCann. Has 20 homers this year, McCann. 64 driven in. That ball's in the air to right. Back is Aoki playing deep. Well positioned for McCann, and Estrada with a 3-up, 3-down fourth. Half of the 4th inning, 1-0 Milwaukee on a Ricky Weeks home run. Say, don't forget, it's time to register for Brewers Fantasy Camp. Love to have you in Phoenix, Arizona. Late January, early February. It's a great place to be that time of year. Get round-trip coach airfare to and from Milwaukee to Phoenix. Hotel accommodations, an authentic Brewers uniform, instruction and coaching from members of the '87 Milwaukee Brewers. That's the team that we are honoring this season. Team streak.
Yeah, giving away the old the road gray uniforms.
Braun on the first pitch, and he is retired. 1 away, 1 out on the first pitch from Tim Hudson. And notice on your Twitter handle, Rock, at Brewers Fan Camp, that you've got a little promotion going. You're giving away a helmet, is that right?
Yeah, you sign up before the end of October, everybody that does that will receive an official Brewers batting helmet with the ball and glove logo.
It's not like one of those ice cream helmets.
No, you use it. Actually, you'll get it when you go to fantasy camp, and you can use it in the game. So yeah, and you get to take it home.
Nice.
Have all the guys sign it. Juan Nieves, Teddy Higuera. I got Greg Brock locked down. Gantner, Cecil Cooper. We're going to have, we hope, 90% chance having Molitor and Young making a guest appearance. Talked to Dale Swaim. He said he'd stop by.
Very nice.
Amongst others. Still having a tough time locking down Serhal. I'm not sure what else he has to do. But Rob Deere said he'd come by. He's going to join us.
Be a who's who of the 1987 Brewers as Ramirez into center field. Bourne is there. He plays deep as well and be able to make that catch for the second out. AT&T trivia. What position did Chipper Jones play when making his major league debut? September 11th, 93. A shortstop. He entered the game as a defensive replacement in the 9th inning. Replaced Jeff Blauser. Believe it or not, Chipper Jones has played 49 games at the shortstop position. Played a little left field. I remember the Braves had Terry Pendleton playing third base. So Jones was a September call-up that year in 1993, and then the next season he was going to be the starter. He was going to be the everyday third baseman for the Atlanta Braves, and he blew out his knee spring training of the 94 season. And I remember at the time, you know, he was such a young player, 20 years of age. There was always the comparisons to Mickey Mantle, unfair comparisons.
Yeah, tough to live up to that.
Because he's a switch hitter and had power. But you know what? You look at his career numbers, he's lived up to it.
He's right there. He's right there. Eddie Murray, one of the great pinch hitters, or I should say switch hitters. And you know, when you look side by side, the numbers for Chipper Jones early in his career and Ryan Braun, almost identical. So Ryan Braun well on his way to a Hall of Fame career if he keeps it up. That's the key, keeping it up. Keep doing it.
Lucroy fights one off, batting with 2 outs here in the 4th inning. And Braun would love to do what Jones has done, and that is stay in one city his entire career. Always a Brave, Chipper Jones. 3rd on the all-time home run list by switch hitters, Mantle, Murray, and Chipper Jones. And those are the Mount Rushmore of power hitting switch hitters, those 3. Saw Lance Bergman on that list. He might be done. His career might be over. He is back in Houston. He left the Cardinals over the weekend. Bergman is having another knee surgery done. I believe today was the surgery, and who knows if he'll come back. As Lucroy strikes out, and Tim Hudson a 3 up, 3 down, 4th.
fifth inning, and tonight's Tavern of the Game winner, the outfit in Stevens Point. If they call the Brewers in the next 24 hours, they get 40 Miller Lite beer pen tickets to a Brewers game. It's offered courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite.
1-0 Milwaukee as Ricky Weeks homered off Tim Hudson in the first for the only run so far tonight. Both pitchers showing well so far as we go to the fifth inning. Marco Estrada will face Dan UGGLA to lead off. UGGLA, Overbay, Simmons. Every left-hander has a right-hander hitting after him in this Freddie Gonzalez Braves batting order. And a challenge for the manager that he deals with on a nightly basis, trying to put the right pieces in place. You don't set up your lineup for the starting pitcher. You set it up for later in the game against the bullpen. But for Freddie Gonzalez against Milwaukee, the only lefty the Brewers have is Manny Parra, even with September call-ups. So it's not as much of a topic than it would be, say, against the Philadelphia Phillies, who have three left-handers in their bullpen. Ball and a strike on UGGLA, and a swing and a miss.
Yeah, when you only have one, and the Brewers really have only had one most of the season, you really have to be careful when you bring him in. Only, sixth, seventh inning at the earliest, especially when the Brewers are having troubles nailing down games at the end. When you have a number of them, you can do a lot of different things.
Two and two to Dan UGGLA. And a bouncing ball to Ramirez. Nice easy hop. Perfect throw for Ramirez. And UGGLA is retired. One away for Marco Estrada. Well, weekdays on Fox Sports Wisconsin, it's the Dan Patrick Show. And tomorrow morning, Bob Uecker is scheduled to appear. I believe around 9:15 tomorrow Central. The Dan Patrick Show begins weekdays at 8 a.m. on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Bob Uecker doesn't do many radio interviews. He's on the radio every night. So he tries to stay off the radio as much as he can. So that'll be a treat.
It's going to be a nice interview. And Patrick can ask some interesting questions.
Overbay pops this one foul. Yesterday at the batting cage, we were all down there having a chat behind the cage, and Bob Uecker was holding court as usual. Well, Chipper Jones came over, and he shook Bob's hand, congratulated him on the statue, and Bob was telling a story about the first time he met Chipper Jones. He was working for NBC doing the network baseball coverage, and did an interview with Jones. They thought it'd be a good idea to have Uecker interview Chipper, this young player coming up, and Bob said, I don't want to do it because I have a tendency to put a jinx on guys. He was trying to get out of the interview. As Estrada strikes out Lyle Overbay for the second out of the inning. Well, anyway, they made Uecker carry through. They knew he was just trying to ditch the work. Well, sure enough, he interviewed Chipper Jones. He went out, took his position out in batting practice, shagging fly balls, and took one right in the lip and knocked him out for the game.
Yep. It's amazing the things that Bob Uecker remembers. I mean, Chipper remembered. He started laughing.
He did. He had a belly laugh on that one. There's a base hit. And so far tonight, Marco Estrada's kryptonite is Andrelton Simmons, who has the 2 hits for Atlanta.
And both of them hit pretty well. And what that does, at minimum, it clears the pitcher for the 6th inning. When your 8th hitter is able to get a base hit with 2 outs.
So here is Hudson, who has 11 hits this year. He's 11 for 47. And you have to approach Hudson like a position player. He's hitting .234. You never go into pitcher splits, but it's significant for Hudson. He's hitting .303 against right-handed pitchers. I know you didn't pull out the pitcher splits page today.
I did not. Too busy today. A lot going on today at the ballpark.
There's strike one. Two and one to Hudson, and strike two on the outside corner. Count evens up. Hudson began his career with the A's, only hit during interleague play. First 6 years of his big league career in the American League. Well, that didn't miss by much. And you wonder if Tim Hudson said, "Hey, Gary, I'll take that. Go ahead and ring me up."
Yeah, that was a strike. You better ring me up.
Now full count. Simmons will get a head start. There he goes. And Hudson takes a called strike three. He wants to, but he won't argue. Estrada picks up another K. He's got 6. National Day of Remembrance, September 11th, and all across Major League Baseball. You saw the gels in the bases, the commemorative bases, remembering this day. And we celebrate the opportunity to enjoy this great game tonight. And it has been a very good game, 1-0, well pitched. Brewers lead it on a Ricky Weeks homer. Tim Hudson facing Travis Ishikawa. That is foul, just foul. I want to send out our best wishes to Lou Montgomery. Looks up here, our one of our, I would say, the best security guard we have, probably the toughest guy in town.
Yeah.
And Lou's being treated right now at St. Francis. He's watching the game, and we're praying for you, Lou. Hope you get well real soon. Hope you'll get back to the ballpark and commence to whooping up on those who get a little off center here in the booth.
Try and find their way into the broadcast booth.
Right.
Doesn't happen when Lou's around.
Nope. Never. I've never seen an incident with Lou. Just his presence alone.
Yeah, you're right.
So we wish you the best, Lou. Hope you're doing well. Hope you heal fast. Ball and 2 strikes on Ishikawa. Corey Hart still out with a foot injury. I saw Corey before the game today. He says he hopes to be available tomorrow, at least in a pinch hitting role, but he's not sure. It's day by day.
He says he's feeling much better, though. That's good news. I would anticipate, if I was a betting man, which I'm not, I think Friday would be a day where you might see Corey. You got a game tomorrow, then a team day off. You give him an extra day, and you hope that he's going to be good enough to be able to play first base.
Corey did say he's got a special orthotic ordered, and it will be in on Friday, and that he is hoping is going to relieve the pressure in the arch of his foot. So it's not a sprain, which was originally reported. It's just some damage, some inflammation in the bottom of his foot and the arch of his foot. Plantar fascia. That used to be an NBA injury for guys that you wanted to hide on the injured list if you needed to make a roster move. But it's a real injury, and it's Corey Hart said on the pain threshold 1 to 10, it was a 10.
Yeah, he didn't look very comfortable after that happened. He tried to stay in the game. He played defense, but that was it. Another half inning after pulling up at second base, trying to slow down after hitting the bag, and he said it really was painful.
He was saying the sensation was, and he thought there was a stinging insect in his sock.
Like a bee?
Like he thought a scorpion, a bee. He said it just burned, and he thought something had bitten him. But it's just that nerve that reacted.
That'd be a news story. A scorpion in St. Louis.
To go along with a squirrel.
Of course, Corey does live in Arizona, so that's probably why he threw that one out.
Right. Sitting next to head athletic trainer Dan Wright. He's trying to get Hart back on the field. Gomez into left field, slightly off the end of the bat, and that will go as out number 2 for Hudson. Just missed it, did Gomez on the bat. A reminder that this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Brewers, may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent of the Brewers. 2 outs. Here is Segura. Since Hudson walked Marco Estrada in the 3rd inning, he's retired 7 straight. When you see Segura take a pitch like that, you know he's starting to find his way as a major league hitter. He was flailing away at that pitch when he first was called up.
And just trying too hard. He's settled in nicely. And starting to drive the ball back through the middle much better. Hey, think about it. 22 years old, up in the big leagues. Just got traded for Zach Greinke. He felt pressure. And he's really showing no signs of that now, particularly on defense.
When the trade first went down, we had Doug Melvin in the booth, and he said they weren't going to bring Segura up right away because they didn't want him to feel that pressure. But once they got to know him, felt like he could handle it. They had heard all the reports from the Angels about him, but he was swinging the bat so well in Double-A, and you might remember that Cesar Torres was claimed off waivers, so the Brewers had a need. Segura came up. He's done a nice job. But Hudson picks him apart. 3 up, 3 down for Hudson. Miller Park, Milwaukee. Brian Anderson with Bill Schroeder. Great to have you with us tonight. A Ricky Weeks home run, the difference in this one. It's Marco Estrada ready to get back to work in the 6th. Bears week is a short week up in Green Bay. And with just 2 more days to prepare to meet Chicago, the Packers are trying to get their running game in order. You can read Paul Emming's story and all of his Packer coverage at foxsportswisconsin.com. The Brewers will be off Thursday, a team off day. So that'll be fun to dial into the Packers on Thursday night. We're back at it here at Miller Park Friday against the Mets, starting a 3-game series over the weekend. And then the last road trip of the season beginning Tuesday in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, Washington, Cincinnati, a 3-city road trip coming up. Michael Bourne rolls over 1 to Weeks. Out number 1, Marco Estrada keeps it rolling here. Estrada's given up just 2 hits. Both hits by the same player, Andrelton Simmons, the Atlanta shortstop. 2 hits and a walk to go along with 6 strikeouts for Marco Estrada.
And just continues to pound the strike zone. Only 23 balls of his 72 pitches so far tonight. Strike to walk ratio over 2 to 1. Doing a nice job and throwing all of his pitches for strikes, keeping them down in the zone.
Martin Prado is 0 for 2. He lined out in the first and then hit a grounder with a runner at second base in the 3rd inning. Estrada was able to retire Bourne and Prado in the 3rd with a runner at second base as the Braves were knocking at the door to tie it up. 2-0 on Prado. There's a strike. Estrada, 29 years of age. Had some big league time with the Nationals before his time with the Brewers. Line drive base hit. Prado squared that one up. And the 3rd Atlanta hit. A 1-out base runner for the Braves. Now time to take a look at our Jimmy John's high-speed delivery. Estrada and Tim Hudson tonight. Hudson's topped out at 91. Marco Estrada 92. A fly ball strikeout pitcher in Estrada, a ground ball specialist in Hudson.
And both of them using the changeup very effectively tonight.
Prado is a base stealer. He has 17 stolen bases this year. He's only been caught 3 times. Hayward takes a ball. The kind of threat that can give the Braves the lead quickly. 25 home runs this year for Hayward. He is the top home run hitter on this Braves club.
And Mark with a good off-speed pitch down in the count 1-0. You know, Hayward looking fastball, and Marco continues to throw that breaking pitch for strikes.
Hayward with a career high in home runs this season. He's 2 RBIs away from matching a career best. And that one's hit high and deep to right field. Back is Aoki. And he is going to have just enough room. Prado tags, but a great throw from Aoki. Keeps him at first base.
His throws have been right on the money. I mean, his last week out in right field, every throw that he's made has been right on the bag. Made a nice throw in St. Louis. He made a great throw in yesterday's game. And Hayward just missed that one. He didn't miss it by much, just got under it, and he stayed in the ballpark.
And a perfect throw from the warning track. Prado was ready to run. He tagged at first base. And after what happened to him yesterday, he wisely held up. Prado was thrown out twice on the base paths yesterday.
Yeah, Prado got good speed. He's got 17 stolen bases, been caught only 3 times. But with Hayward and Chipper Jones up, he's not going to take a chance in getting thrown out.
Chipper walked in the second. Estrada got him to pop it up to center field in his second at bat. He's 0 for 1. He's been able to keep that batting average around 300 all year. Just slipped under it on the last road trip, or the last series on the road trip in New York.
A career 304 hitter. Incredible career for Chipper Jones.
And his splits are 304 each side, lefty and righty.
He's always had much better power from the left side, but batting average pretty much the same.
Jones' career against Milwaukee is a .335 hitter. This is his 81st career game against the Brewers. And a career that began in '93 on a full-time basis in '95. 40 years of age, Chipper Jones. Estrada's been pretty efficient tonight. Pitch number 84 coming here in the 6th inning. And a little tapper foul by Jones.
It took just a touch off of that fastball, had some sink to it, and Jones out in front. The command has been very nice, very good for Estrada from the first inning on. Not any margin for error for him tonight.
Trying to protect a 1-0 lead. 2 outs in the 6th, and a check on Prado at first. Chipper Jones still has some pop in his bat. Has 14 home runs this year and just 338 at bats. Plays 2 out of every 3 days typically. Had a game-winning home run Sunday week ago. Two and two. And he missed up and away. Count goes full. That's going to give Prado a start. And Travis Ishikawa will play behind Prado now. Brewers have 3 infielders on the right side. The shift is on for Chipper Jones. There goes Prado, the payoff pitch in the air, left center. Pretty well hit. Back is Gomez running out of real estate, but he's got it. 2 long fly ball outs. Hayward and Jones. Estrada escapes. reminding you to please play responsibly. By the new Miller Lite Punch Top Can. It's Miller time. And by Marathon, fueling the American spirit. Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Great to have you with us. What a ball game tonight so far. Played 5.5 innings, just 1 run on the board. A Ricky Weeks home run in the first inning, his 18th home run of the season. And that's it, the only tally. Tim Hudson and Marco Estrada both pitching very well. Hudson has retired 8 straight now. He walked Estrada back in the 3rd inning, hasn't given up a base runner since. Estrada leads off, then Aoki, and then Ricky Weeks. Brewers go back to the top of the order next. And Estrada, he's seen a lot of pitches. He's tracking them all the way in. Drew a walk his first time up. He's ahead in the count, 2-1. Look out. Oh, that went right over the Brewers dugout into the seats. And I hope everybody's all right down there.
Yeah, it looks like it. There's some quick hands and guys moving around right in the first row.
Not a whole lot of time to react to that one. And good thing those folks are paying attention down there. McCann will make the play for the first out on the swinging bunt by Estrada. 1 away in the 6th. Here comes Aoki. And time now for our AT&T U-verse Reverse replay. Yesterday, Aoki showed a big arm gunning down Martin Prado at 3rd base. Big play in the game yesterday, and then had a big day at the plate as well. Aoki had 2 doubles in the game yesterday. Had a 2 RBI double. It's part of a 4-run inning, the only inning the Brewers were able to score. But it was all they would need.
Aoki really flexing his muscles in the last week. Started with that home run and that opposite field double in Miami. Big home run in St. Louis. And a huge double with the bases loaded last night in the 7th inning. Not just spraying the baseball at all anymore. Just driving it into the opposite field.
Well, Aoki over his last 14 games, hitting .339, has a couple of home runs and 9 RBIs in his last 14. This is not a guy who you think of as a run producer. He's a leadoff hitter. Well, he's driven in 9 runs during that stretch. They'll ask if he went. No, he didn't. Able to check his swing. Aoki has produced 3 double-digit hitting streaks this year. He's got a 10-gamer, a 13-gamer, had a 15-gamer earlier this year. As he bounces one to short, Simmons makes the play. 2 up and 2 down for Tim Hudson. Well, Ricky Weeks responsible for the only run of this game, and it was a missile over the fence in center field. Powerball home run number 18 for Ricky Weeks. And exercised a few Tim Hudson demons with that home run. See the Powerball home run leaderboard. Braun still sets the pace on the club and in the National League.
There are a lot of hitters in all of baseball trying to exercise those demons against Tim Hudson. This guy's a good one, and he has proven it here tonight.
The first home run for a Brewer player, current Brewer player, against Tim Hudson. He doesn't give up many, Hudson. One of the fewest home runs allowed in the National League.
That's saying something when you consider the Brewers lineup.
The best home run hitting team in the league, Milwaukee.
Hudson did not pitch against the Brewers when they faced each other in Atlanta in mid-April. Hudson hurt.
Ball and a strike. 2-1 on Weeks. Weeks now with 18 homers, 53 runs driven in. He's trying to reach base for Ryan Braun, who waits on deck. 2 outs in the inning. And a good cut. Hudson ties him up with a fastball. It's 2-2. Got so much movement on his fastball.
Yeah, Weeks hit the home run on a pitch away from him, and since that time, Tim Hudson has thrown in nothing but fastballs in on his hands.
See what he has in mind for him here. Back inside goes McCann, and Weeks pounds it foul. You feel like when Hudson has you thinking inside, you're cooked if he makes his pitches.
Drop a cutter on you, pull the string on a changeup. He tries to speed your bat up, and then he'll drop the off-speed pitch on you.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Weeks. Into center field, another ball that's well hit. Bourne will watch this one go. A one-hopper off the wall. Weeks thinking about third. He's on his way. The throw, no throw. A triple for rookie Weeks. His 3rd triple of the season. Racking up some total bases tonight against Tim Hudson.
Talk about raw power. Ricky Weeks picking on a slider from Tim Hudson out over the plate. Out away from him, just like the home run ball. And it catches that crazy angle out there in center, and because of that, Ricky able to get into third base.
Safe at third, safe and secure. New York Life. A 2-strike triple for Weeks. And there he is, 90 feet away. That is a big run. And now the big run producers coming up. Here's Ryan Braun with 2 away. If you're wondering, Braun's numbers lifetime against Hudson, counting his 0 for 2 tonight, he is 5 for 18 career against Tim Hudson. No home runs. Braun's next home run will be a milestone homer. It'll be career home run number 200. Only 5 other Brewer players have been able to do that in franchise history. Robin Yount is the all-time home run leader in franchise history with 251. Then you've got fielder Jeff Jenkins, Gorman Thomas, Cecil Cooper, and then there is Ryan Braun. And if he stays healthy, he'll be chipping away at those as he carries on. That's what it looks like in franchise history. In just his 6th year in the big leagues, sitting on the doorstep of 200. Ball and 2 strikes. 2-2. Ryan lost his lead in the RBI race in the National League after a huge Sunday for Chase Headley, San Diego Padre third baseman. Headley leads the league with 102 RBIs. Braun is second with 100. 2-2 to Braun. And a bouncing ball to second. Nice easy hop for UGGLA, and that's that. So Hudson retires the reigning MVP, strands a runner at third. Still 1-0 Milwaukee.
few weeks with a couple of base hits, including his 18th of the year, a solo shot in the first inning. And it's 1-0. Both pitchers dealing. Both pitchers giving up 3 hits. Not too many base runners. Hudson with 4 strikeouts, 1 walk. And Marco Estrada has 6 punch-outs to his line and has allowed 1 walk. So both of these guys at the top of their game here tonight at Miller Park.
And Marco Estrada besting Hudson so far. And if you look at the left on base numbers tonight, the Braves have stranded 4. The Brewers just 2. 6 shutout innings for Estrada. A walk and 6 strikeouts. Brian McCann will lead off. And Estrada misses with a breaking ball. McCann, UGGLA, and Overbay. This is a batting average that Brian McCann is not used to. And again, the 230 range starting play tonight. He's typically been a 270, 280 hitter throughout his career. One of the best hitting catchers in the National League. You put him in that group with Buster Posey and Yadier Molina, Miguel Montero, the Diamondbacks.
Man, he's a difference maker in the lineup for sure.
Hit hard, but right at Aoki. And McCann.
He's got the same spot.
That's right. That's the second time he's lined out to deep right field.
Come out to Miller Park as the Brewers host the New York Mets this coming Friday through Sunday. For tickets, call 902-4000 or visit brewers.com.
Here's Dan UGGLA now. UGGLA tonight is 0 for 2. He grounded out to third his last time up over to Ramirez. Big cut. 2-1. Speaking of low batting averages, UGGLA starts this game tonight with a batting average of .215. He's one of the few long-term deals that the Braves have moving forward. Signed that big free agent contract. Lines out into left. That'll fall. A base hit. Just one-handed one to left field.
Off-speed pitch again. Marco doing a change up. UGGLA one-handed it. A bullet in the left.
So he's aboard with 1 out for Lyle Overbay. Overbay making his first start as a Brave. Began his season with the Diamondbacks. He is 0 for 2. Estrada has struck him out twice. And starts him with a curveball. Overbay has just 7 at-bats as a Brave. When he signed the minor league deal with Atlanta and went to Gwinnett in AAA, the first time he'd been in the minor leagues in 6 years. A guy who's put up some good numbers in his career had to take a little bit of humble pie to go down to the minor leagues, but he knew that was his only way back into a role with a contending team.
Yeah, that's what you do, and you feel like you have some good years still ahead of you. You feel as though you could still play. If Overbay thought he was done, he never would have done that. This has Roger Clemens.
Just ask the Sugarland Skeeters.
Yeah.
You think we'll see Clemens pitch in the big leagues this year?
I don't know. Maybe in Milwaukee.
Yeah, the Astros last year. Well, you know he'll pitch in Houston if he's going to pitch anywhere. He won't be making any road trips. Lucroy on his way out. Quick trip to the mound for Jonathan Lucroy.
That's right. Roger Clemens only made road trips when he pitched in his heyday. That's a pretty good gig if you think about it.
Yeah.
Not so much in his heyday, but later on in his career.
Randy Johnson did the same.
Yeah.
There's a strike. Came back with a fastball. Overbay didn't want it. 2-2 the count. Brewers are looking to turn 2 in this spot. And Overbay fouls it away. Overbay had some good years with the Brewers, but really found his home run stroke with the Blue Jays. Twice he had 20 homer seasons in Toronto. As Jim Henderson gets loose.
Yeah, good offensively and a terrific first baseman back in his day. He could pick it over there.
That year, Overbay set the record for doubles in Brewers franchise history. He led all of baseball in doubles that year. That was back in '04. Had one more year in Milwaukee in '05, and then the emergence of Prince Fielder. Fielder was up and down in '05, interleague and a September call up, and then Overbay was traded away that offseason. And it was Prince's job from 2006 to 2011. And very few played at all at first base during the Prince Fielder era. Not just games, but innings.
Right.
Played just about every inning of every game in that 5-year stretch. UGGLA goes. 3-2 pitch. Rifled into right center. Aoki makes the catch. Winds it up. Long throw is in. UGGLA is back. Nori Aoki. Another fine defensive play.
Well, the advantages of playing very deep in right field, and nobody plays a deeper outfield than Aoki. He might have a few balls hit in front of him, but this ball was just scorched by Lyle Overbay, a fastball on a 3-2 count. Overbay thought he got it pretty good, which he did, but look at Aoki up against the wall, able to haul it in. I think Marco Estrada thought that ball was either a home run or off the fence.
Well, Estrada has been walking the tight wire, but he will exit, and he will exit to a standing ovation here as he tips his cap to Aoki, and the fans respond just the same. Three parts of the world right there represented. And Nori Aoki in any language. Our Pizza Hut delivery of the game just a moment ago, Rock.
Yeah, that ball gets over his head or off the wall. You saw UGGLA, he was running on the 3-2 pitch. And that certainly saved the run. Aoki with a nice leaping catch up against the wall. And able to get it in, almost got a double play.
Well, he's had a great series, Aoki. Had the big hit yesterday. And a couple of nice defensive plays in this one tonight. So Estrada is out. Marco goes 6 2/3. And so far, no runs. Still UGGLA, his responsibility at first base. A walk and 6 strikeouts. Fortunate, the Braves hit some line drives for outs here recently and some fly balls to the wall here recently. But Estrada is out, and he'll give way to Jim Henderson.
Yeah, Jim Henderson was the setup man last night. He pitched a scoreless 8th inning. Well, you would think perhaps that Ron Renicky thinking maybe Henderson get this out and then pitch the 8th. But we'll see.
Well, Estrada had given up 2 hits to Andrelton Simmons. Certainly that went into the thinking of Ron Renicky. That's half of the Braves hits tonight. And Henderson starts him with a slider for strike 1. I saw Freddie Gonzalez, the Brave skipper, before the game, and he was raving about Henderson. He said, "Where'd you get this guy? Coming out of the Brewers minor league system."
Well, when you saw him last night, he was throwing a lot of his sliders for strikes. He throws a fastball in the mid-90s, and when he can throw the slider over the plate, keep these hitters honest, he can be very good.
Henderson had shoulder surgery in 2008. He was a member of the Cubs organization. They released him. He signed with the Brewers, but with the idea that he had to go back to single A as a 26-year-old. And that's not an easy thing to do when you've already been in Triple A for a couple of years. But he did, trying to work his way back, get his feel back after shoulder surgery. So he pitched for the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers in 09. Moved his way up through the system, and at the age of 29, he earns his first chance in the major leagues this year.
Yeah, when you try to get to the big leagues, you have to check your pride at the door once in a while.
Runner goes, bouncing ball to Segura. And a play at first to end the inning. Henderson leaves the base runner, and Estrada 6 2/3 shutout thanks to a terrific play by Aoki. 1-0 Milwaukee. Brewers flashing a little leather tonight.
To nothing, and it is our time now to hear from you, the fans, in our pulse of social media. Ron Renicky said last night that it was arguably one of the Brewers' best defensive performances, and we asked fans to compare the impact plays from last night, whether it was Maldonado's 2 pickoffs from behind the plate or the outfield assist by Nori Aoki and Carlos Gomez. Some great response from Brewers fans weighing in on their defense. Jake said all the plays were big in the win last night, but I think Martin Maldonado's plays were big in keeping runners from scoring. Matt said the assist, throwing a runner out after the ball is already in play, completely drains any potential momentum. BA and Rock, we saw Marco Estrada tip the cap to Nori Aoki there in the 7th. Fans tipping their cap to the Brewers defense as well.
Absolutely, and that's what it's all about when you're winning games and you're playing well. One aspect of the game picks up the other, and Marco Estrada certainly appreciates the defense that he has seen. And last night we saw some terrific defense in the game. Maldonado on a couple of throws, showing off his great arm, and then a couple of outfield plays as well.
Yeah, for the 27 outs recorded by the Brewers, he came on the bases, and when you're playing that well defensively and you're pitching well, you don't need to score a lot of runs. I mean, tonight, case in point. And this was the biggest play, I thought. I mean, this just looked like it was going to be Dan Uggla coming to the plate and representing the tie and run, but miraculously, Gomez is able to get that out at third base.
Now the Brewers trying to make it back-to-back wins. As Aramis Ramirez knocked down by Simmons, recovers, throws, not in time. Ramirez gave it all he had down the line. Asking every bit of every muscle in his legs.
Yeah, he started, then slowed down, and had to speed up once he saw that ball get out of the glove of Simmons. Right there. And Ramirez just smokes this one hop out of the glove of Simmons, and Ramirez able to beat it. We haven't seen Ramirez outrun too many infield hits this year. And that one pretty close. A pretty good arm by Simmons. Bang, bang. Could have gone either way.
Yeah, Brewers might have gotten a break there. Ramirez, those legs are wound pretty tight. And we'll see how he runs the rest of this way. That one's down the line. Lucroy gives it a look. Slicing foul. Not by much. Lucroy down in the count.
You know, that throw by Gomez last night, when he first threw that ball, I was saying, what are you throwing there for? You got to throw to second base. But it was one of those, in basketball, you don't want him to shoot. And when he shoots it, you say no. And then you say, awesome. Yeah, when he makes it.
Yeah, game-changing play. No balls and a strike on Lucroy. And there's a base hit to right. Jonathan Lucroy taking the opposite field approach. And now the Brewers putting out their best threat. 2 on with nobody out here in the 7th inning. It is the first time the Brewers have had 2 men on at the same time in this game against Tim Hudson.
And making an honest effort was Lucroy to hit that ball to right. He hit a foul ball to right field. Then they would have banged that one just in front of Hayward. Good opposite field hitting for Lucroy.
Well, you wonder if Reneke's going to have Ishikawa bunt here. The ground ball specialist of Tim Hudson gets a lot of double plays. Brewers are at the bottom of their order, though. Ishikawa squares and pulls it back for ball 1.
You get Gomez, Segura coming up. Ishikawa, the left-handed hitter. Ron Reneke knows how important another run is going to be in this game. Trying to play for a single run in this inning, apparently.
There's a bunt. It's a good one. Hudson slings one to first for the out. Ishikawa retired, but a perfectly executed sacrifice. And now the Brewers with runners at second and third for Gomez.
Yeah, that was a dandy. Ishikawa deads that ball nicely, makes Hudson field the ball. You were talking about how well Hudson has played defensively throughout his career. Picks it up and gets a good throw over to first base. That was a very good bunt by Ishikawa. Hasn't been asked to bunt all that often.
Well, the stage is set here for Carlos Gomez thanks to that bunt. Infield end for Atlanta.
Well, look our overbase playing. It's almost as if they're expecting a sacrifice bunt. Maybe thinking this might be a time where Ron Renneke thinking about a squeeze.
Well, the Braves have done their homework. When Gomez bunts, he typically bunts to the right side. I've got a piece of him. Gomez hit by a pitch. Just nicked his leg. And the bases are loaded with one out.
Yeah, they've been trying to come inside on Gomez the entire series. That one got a piece of his jersey.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, right there. That's the best way to get hit right there, folks. Won't even leave a mark.
All material, no flesh.
Two hits and a hit batter. Brewers scored 4 runs in the 7th inning last night. And they are putting up a major threat here in the 7th tonight. Segura was a big part of that 4-run inning last night. And strike one to the young shortstop.
Looks like the Braves are playing for a double play up the middle. They're in at the corners. Segura with great speed. It's going to be tough to double him up if he hits the ball up the middle.
Bouncing ball to second. Segura's got to go. UGGLA to the bag to throw to first. Not in time. Segura beats it out. And a run will score. Bang, bang play at first base.
Gomez coming in hot at second base. Doing all he can to break up that double play, realizing that that's a run. Check him out. Coming in hot and taking out Simmons. A clean play, and just beat it was Segura at first.
RBI for Segura. Reaches on a fielder's choice. High fives for Gomez as he goes in hard on the young Atlanta shortstop. That's a big run. 2-0 Milwaukee.
Not too many guys are going to beat that out. Segura getting down that line really well.
Taylor Green will pinch hit. Green's looking for his first hit since returning to the major leagues. His AAA season ended. He went home. He drove from Nashville to Vancouver before the Brewers summoned him back. So K-Rod in the bullpen. He'll have the 8th.
Good clean slide by Gomez. Watch his hands. If he lifts him over his head, he could very well call him for interference. He doesn't do it. He does lift it up a little bit. And if the umpire would have thought maybe to call interference, which I don't think it was, no run would have scored.
Good old-fashioned hard ball right there.
He put his hands up just to make sure that Simmons' cleats didn't get him in the face. There you go, right there. And then only after he gets by it, he lifts the hands up. Good play.
Taylor Green spent most of the year in AAA Nashville this year. Had a couple of stints in the big leagues. Lucroy over at third. Segura with great speed at first. And remember, Hudson picked off Segura earlier in this game, back in the 3rd inning. Two to nothing Milwaukee. Bottom of the 7th. Green trying to add to it. And a fastball misses inside. 2-1. Taylor Green hit .273 in AAA this year. Pitch count for Hudson at 92. Green had 7 home runs in AAA. Interesting, he had 2 homers in the big leagues this year, both of them on pinch hit appearances. His first 2 career home runs. That one a little flare, and that's going to fall. A base hit. Lucroy scores. Taylor Green delivers a clutch RBI single, and the Brewers have a 3-0 lead.
Well, Hudson got that one up in the zone just enough to allow Green to fight it off. Got in on him, but because it was upstairs, fights it off into center field. There's a 4-seam fastball. You see where it is, and Green jams himself, but muscles it into center field. Lucroy scores easily.
So Taylor Green delivers Jonathan Lucroy. That's his 6th pinch hit RBI this year in the big leagues. Half of his RBIs have come as a pinch hitter. And Aoki, a bouncing ball. That is through. Segura will score. Green on his way to third. Aoki to second. A hustle double. And an RBI for Norichika Aoki. 4-0 Brewers.
All right, look at the guys who are able to get it done. And it seems like it's somebody different every night from Milwaukee. Segura with an RBI. Then you get Taylor Green. Now Aoki with a base hit. And a hustle double. Like they were shade ignoring a hole. And just out of the reach of UGGLA. And a 3-run 7th.
Scored 4 in the 7th last night. 3 tonight and still at it as Aoki collects his 30th double of the season, driving in another run. 4-0 Brewers. A pitching change at Miller Park.
The base hit double by Aoki. Check out the defensive alignment. Hayward on the line. You had Bourne around toward left field. Michael Bourne's just not running all that well. I mean, it didn't look like he was running very well in that week's triple, and it took him an awful long time to get to that baseball. Actually, Hayward has to grab it. And because of that, Aoki now at second base. A base hit scores 2 more.
Heads up base running by Aoki. There's a lot of hitters that would just settle for a single there, having driven in a run, but now he's at second. A base hit will score 2 more potentially. And the new hurler for Atlanta is Corey Guerin. We saw him last night. Guerin making his 15th appearance of the season.
And Guerin came in and walked the batter and struck out Ricky Weeks in yesterday's ball game. With a good sinking fastball.
Brewers have plated 3 in the 7th. Ricky Weeks started the scoring tonight. He had a home run in the first. Had a triple off Hudson in the 6th inning. Wendy's at the plate for Ricky Weeks. Second and third, 2 outs. And strike one on Weeks. Hudson exits with 6 2/3. 7 hits, 4 runs at this point, all of them earned. And still 2 that belong to him. Taylor Green at third and Aoki at second. Both with RBI hits in this inning. In tight. Almost got a piece of Ricky Weeks.
And they are just pounding inside, aren't they? Both of his hits have come on pitches away from him. Just continue to try and bust him inside.
Boy, think back to the Carlos Gomez play at second, and Segura's speed beating out that potential double play ball that would have ended this inning. Brewers are still at it. A defensive swing from Weeks. 2-2. Missed in there. 3-2. High risk, high reward for a pitcher with Ricky Weeks trying to pound him inside. Can be successful in there, but if one leaks over the plate, look out. That's what happened to Hudson in the first inning when Weeks went deep. Bouncing ball to third. Chipper Jones makes the play to end the inning. Lucky number 7 again. 4 runs in the 7th last night. The Brewers go for 3 tonight in the 7th inning. And now lead 4-0 as we head to the 8th.
For Game 3 of the series versus the Braves. Well, if you ask me, we've hit the weather jackpot. Another beautiful night expected with mainly clear skies and a nice, comfortable first pitch temperature of 78.
That's the kind of forecast we're looking for, Violetta. Nicely done. Our Miller Lite What's on Tap. Final game of the series tomorrow against Atlanta, and then an off day Thursday, and then the Mets are in town. Start a 3-game series with the Mets. Former Met Frankie Rodriguez is in the pitch. That's where he got his nickname, Rock, in New York with the Mets. Right. 20 minutes of terror.
I thought you meant K-Rod. I'm sorry.
No, that was when he was an Angel.
Okay. I was trying to be nice.
It was a more favorable nickname when he was in Anaheim.
Right. 69th appearance for K-Rod. I'm going to stick with K-Rod. A .494 earned run average, pitched on Saturday against the Cardinals. Has been unscored upon in 12 of his last 14 appearances. So K-Rod pitching well, gets the 8th.
And continuing with the New York theme, Jose Constanza. Not George Costanza, but Jose Constanza. Pinch hitting. Very speedy runner at the plate. As he drops a bunt down, Ramirez knows he's got to hurry. Nicely done.
Man, nobody does that any better than Aramis Ramirez. And maybe we're watching all year long, and that's a ball right there. It was rolling hard enough, and he was playing in. And he really didn't have to catch it barehanded, but he's so good, so confident in that play that he's able to barehand it and get the out easily.
That was a thing of beauty right there. Ramirez. He should win a Gold Glove this year. He's been that good. Has the fewest errors committed by any regular third baseman in the National League. And it's not that he just makes the routine plays. He can make the spectacular as well within his range. And that barehanded pickup is his specialty.
Yeah. If he doesn't win a Gold Glove, there's something wrong.
He's committed just 6 errors all season. Ramirez has the highest fielding percentage among regular third basemen. We got guys like Chase Headley, Ryan Zimmerman, some of the top fielding third basemen right now that have put up enough numbers to get that look. And that's the way it is. You got to hit enough. First of all, you got to hit enough to stay in the lineup every day, and then you have to hit enough to get into the minds of the voters. 1-2, and Bourne taps it foul.
Well, if you watch Ramirez every day, you get the sense of how much you appreciate what he's able to do over there. He's very smart. He knows how to position himself. He knows the hitters in this league. And every one of his throws are right on the money at first base.
Who is 0 for 3 tonight. And down he goes. K-Rod goes with his signature pitch, and he strikes out Michael Bourne for the second out of the inning. Our Ho-Chunk Gaming text question tonight. Jason in South Milwaukee. Do you think the bullpen has been the big story of the Brewers' recent streak?
Well, it's been one of them. I think it's been the reason that the team has been able to turn things around. I mean, the offense has been pretty good for a nice long stretch. The defense, they're 5th in the National League, and you can't be that high up if you're just recently good defensively. A lot of guys contributing, but the fact that the Brewers are able to finish games is really the reason why they've been able to go on this winning stretch.
Got to give a lot of credit to the kids, too, the young kids who are making an impact, not just the September call-ups, but Bianchi, Segura, Jim Henderson. I mean, these guys are now thrown right into a pennant race.
Yeah.
And they are performing well.
Unfazed.
That's kind of the theme across baseball. You look at the teams that are contending right now. Teams that are surging versus the teams that are falling off the pace. And the teams that are crumbling a little bit all show a lot of age. Slow roller. Here's Segura. Throw to first in time. 2 defensive gems in that inning. Ramirez and Segura. The teacher and the pupil. Outstanding play getting Prado.
leading the Braves 4-0. They've helped provide some offense to Marco Estrada, who's in position to win his 3rd game of the year. And I'll tell you what, this guy was outstanding from the get-go, wasn't he?
Boy, he certainly was. You know, he had great command of all of his pitches. You know, he got helped out on the defense a little bit, but it was all about Marco. Good fastball, breaking balls down in the zone. He was on his game.
Our Marshfield Clinic shining moment goes to the starting pitcher, Marco Estrada. 6 2/3 innings of shutout baseball here tonight. Leaves with a standing ovation. Hope to catch up with Marco after the ball game. Brewers playing a little small ball for the 2nd consecutive night in the 7th inning. We've got Brewers Live on the way, Brian.
All right, Craig and Davey, looking forward to that as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning, and the Braves will bring on Miguel Bautista. Been bouncing around here throughout his career, but especially lately. From the Mets to the Braves here in 2012.
Yeah, he made 5 starts with the New York Mets. One of those coming against the Brewers in a win. That was at New York back in May, and he pitched well, did not allow a run in 7 innings of work. Now working out of the bullpen for the Atlanta Braves.
So here's Ryan Braun to lead off. 4-0 Milwaukee, scoring 3 of those 4 runs in the 7th. Brewers got RBIs from Segura, Taylor Green, who pinch hit, and Nori Aoki, who had a hustle double. Weeks has the other ribby. He had a home run earlier tonight in the 1st inning off Hudson. Tim Hudson has won 8 of his last 9 games, but the Brewers have a chance to hang a loss on him tonight. Braun's been nursing a sore wrist. Had to come out of Sunday's game in St. Louis. He did return yesterday, but doesn't look like he has quite the snap in his bat.
Just gutting it out, but you know, he's certainly been missing some pitches in this series that ordinarily Braun's going to hit pretty hard somewhere.
It's that one hard, but right at the shortstop Simmons. And Braun is retired, 1 gone in the bottom of the 8th.
And Fan Appreciation Night is Saturday, September 29th, as the Brew Crew takes on the Astros. Come out to Miller Park for your chance to win fabulous prizes, including a 2013 Chevy Camaro. Visit Brewers.com/fan appreciation for tickets and for details on Fan Appreciation Night.
Here's Aramis Ramirez. He started that big inning in the 7th with an infield hit. Legged one out, did Ramirez. Ramos had to miss a couple of games with an injured oblique around on his back. He returned on Saturday night in St. Louis after missing Thursday and Friday. That one's hit high and deep. Ramirez will watch this one go. Wow! Big home run for Aramis Ramirez. No doubt about that one, as Ramirez cranks out number 23 this year. The Brewers lead it 5-0.
And not too many things feeling better than when you make contact like that. Ramirez gets full extension right on the sweet spot, and there was nothing going to hold that baseball. Check that out. A sinker, and Bautista knew it. It had that sound, and see you later. Second deck out there over Club Goodwill.
Long home run on a night where the ball is not traveling all that well either. We've seen a lot of Braves fly balls end up at the wall tonight. And Ramirez joins Weeks with home runs tonight. Brewers continue their assault on National League pitching, leading the league in home runs, leading the league in runs scored. Ramos Ramirez inching his way to a 100 RBI season again. Now has 91 ribbies on his 23rd home run. Lucroy ahead of the count.
Yeah, the Cardinals and the Brewers came into action today tied for runs scored in the National League with 673. The Brewers with 5 tonight. The Cardinals in San Diego, and they have a 1-0 lead.
It's Adam Wainwright up for the Cardinals tonight against Edinson Volquez for the Padres. Brewers doing plenty of scoreboard watching. They need help, and a lot of it. Milwaukee still behind the Dodgers, the Pirates, and the Cardinals for that second wild card spot. The wild card leader, the Atlanta Braves, and they're sitting comfortably in that spot. But you can't tell a Braves fan that they have a comfortable lead after what happened to them last September. Braves blew a 9.5 game lead in September and missed the postseason last year. So a lot of those looks from Braves fans last season. The Dodgers are underway with the Diamondbacks tonight in Phoenix, scoreless in the 4th inning. Clayton Kershaw pitching tonight against Ian Kennedy. Cincinnati has already beaten the Pirates. Pittsburgh continues their free fall. Pittsburgh is now just 3 games over 500. Reds have beaten them twice. Two and 2 to Lucroy. Overbay will take it to the bag for the second out. Well, don't forget our instructional coming up after the game on our Brewers Live postgame show. It'll be Rockin' Davey Nelson tonight. He'll break down the techniques and strategies of the game. What are you going to focus in on tonight, Rock?
Yeah, we have a couple of special guests. We're going to try and incorporate the assistance of some of our military that are here at the ballpark tonight. Davey and I are going to be talking about, getting a lead off first base, getting that break to steal a base at second base. We've got a couple of military folks that I think that
nice.
I've been able to coerce.
That'll be nothing for them. Somebody's going to end up doing push-ups tonight. And I got a feeling it's going to be you and Davey.
Me and Davey. Well, one thing about me and Davey doing, we don't have to go down that far.
That's a good point. Just a little tap, little belly tap.
Couple inches.
Little gator arm. Ball and a strike on Ishikawa. Two outs in the inning. The Brewers have added to their lead on an Ramos Ramirez home run. 5-0. A win tonight, the Brewers get back to 500. And it would be a monumental climb back to 500. Last time the Brewers were at 500, they were 9-9. April 24th. It has been a struggle for Ron Renick's Brewers this year, but they've got a puncher's chance now. They're playing their best baseball. Ishikawa rips one into the gap in left center. He's thinking about 2, and he'll hold up. Prado did a nice job cutting that off. Keeps Ishikawa to a single, but the Brewers keep it going here in the 8th.
9 hits now from Milwaukee. And a lot of those coming in the last 2 innings. Tim Henson started to get a little bit too much of the plate, and the Brewers able to attack Bautista in the bullpen.
Carlos Gomez with 2 out. Well, the Brewers have been able to stay away from that devastating Braves bullpen for the most part. They were behind going into the 7th last night, but it was only 1-0. And they chased Johnny Venters, who is one of the premier lefties out of the bullpen in the National League. He didn't get an out last night. Simmons will go the easy way, and the inning is over. But more fireworks from the Brewers, some late inning magic. This time Aramis Ramirez, his 23rd homer. 5-0 Brewers. We go to the 9th. Brewers baseball from Miller Park on a day when we remember, and all 30 teams commemorating the 11th anniversary of the September 11th 2001 terrorist attacks, and we certainly do here. It's been a fun night at the ballpark tonight. The Brewers enjoying a 5-0 lead as we go to the 9th inning. It'll be Brandon Kintzler to try to finish this one off.
He pitched well on Sunday against the Cardinals. The Brewers lost in 10, but he threw 2 scoreless innings against St. Louis. On for the 5th time tonight, and a .338 earned run average for Kintzler.
The Braves will send up Jason Hayward, Chipper Jones, and Brian McCann. Marco Estrada in line for the victory. It would be his 3rd of the year. Out pitching Tim Hudson tonight. Hudson gave up 4 runs in 6 2/3. Brewers pitching combining on a 4-hit shutout right now. Estrada, Jim Henderson, K-Rod, and now Kintzler. And the Brewers will have their opening day starter on the mound tomorrow, Giovanni Gallardo against Paul Mahalam. A win tonight for Milwaukee would secure yet another series victory. The Brewers have not lost a series going back to mid-August. They are 6-0-2, 6 series victories, 2 splits.
Yeah, that series was, remember, in Colorado, where the Brewers got swept in a 3-game series in mid-August. Got them to 12 games under 500 since that time. They have been very good.
Hayward able to lay off. 3-2 the count on Jason Hayward. The Brewers, after they were swept in Colorado, were 12 games under 500 less than a month ago. Now they have a chance to get back to 500. Hard hit grounder right 2 weeks. 1 gone. Well, the Brewers have been able to stay away from Craig Kimbrell, the top closer in the league. Chipper Jones coming up. Got a second standing ovation tonight. He got one yesterday in his first at bat, and the same tonight. Tomorrow the Brewers are going to honor Chipper Jones. They have a gift for him and a little presentation before first pitch tomorrow to commemorate his terrific career. And it'll be his final game in a regular season setting in Milwaukee.
What do you think it's going to be? What do you think the gift's going to be? Any guesses?
I would guess something truly Wisconsin.
Right.
Jones with a base hit.
That could be one of a number of things.
Yep. I don't think they're going to roll out a Harley Davidson for him.
No.
But it could be something, maybe some nice cheese.
Some Clements bratwurst.
That's always a nice gift.
I mean, if you want to go truly Wisconsin.
Yeah, perhaps Jones could run in the sausage race if he's not in the lineup. Probably not. And McCann takes ball 2. 2 outs to get. Brewers rolling along here. By the way, that hit for Chipper Jones is 2,716th career base hit. That ties him with Rusty Staub, 59th all-time Major League history. And he is now 5 hits away from tying Lou Gehrig. It's a lot of hits over 19 years. McCann lifts this one in the air to left. Braun is there. 2-men are out. Braves down to their last out here in the ninth. Atlanta was a red hot team coming here. Braves had won 5 in a row. They were coming off a sweep of the Mets on the road. They had won 7 of their last 8 games. But with 1 more out, the Brewers will hang a couple of losses on them. Kinsler deals an 0-1 pitch. UGGLA takes a ball. Plenty of baseball watching for you later tonight. The Cardinals and the Padres out west, they're just getting underway. That game's in the 3rd inning. St. Louis leading 1-0. Pirates have already lost. The Brewers gained ground on Pittsburgh. Dodgers underway with the Diamondbacks. They are scoreless in the 5th inning. One and 2 on UGGLA. And down he goes. UGGLA strikes out, and the ball game is over. The Brewers win again. Their 8th consecutive win here at Miller Park. They post their 7th shutout of the season. A combined 5-hitter makes a winner out of Marco Estrada. And the Milwaukee Brewers are back at 500. First time since late April, since they were 9-9, the Brewers have made it back to 500. And Milwaukee, you have a pennant race now. Could get to 4 games out of the wild card if the Cardinals lose tonight. Much more still to come. Craig Kashawn is standing by. What do you have coming up, Craig, on Brewers Live?
Boy, it's going to be a fun one tonight. Brewers back to even, as you mentioned, BA. What a milestone for this club, and still very much in that wild card chase. We'll scoreboard watch and catch up with the Brew Crew when we come back to Brewers Live.